I needed to tell him again, I know. Even if you can't hug me, even if you can kiss me, even if you can save me, I know that you are here for the rest of my life, so it's okay. Oh, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for bringing to light the performance and motion capture actors. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. How does it like? How has 2025 been for you? Like with everything with Clair Obscur, of course, and with other projects that you've been working on.
I don't realize what's happened. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, you know, when we shooting the motion capture, it was in 2023, and we had 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 days a month for 1 year. I'm actress, but I also stunt woman. During the mocap session, I worked on separate projects. So the Monday, Tuesday, I was with a Stuntful Interactive, and the Wednesday, I was the stunt double of a French actress on the movie industry. So I was completely dedicated for Stuntful, but I wasn't aware of what I was doing with this game. I'm grateful, I'm surprised, and it's just amazing.
Did you ever know anything about video games before this? Like, did you have any idea of what video games are like and acting in video games particularly?
Yeah, it was not my first time in video game. So I worked as actress and as stunt woman in few studios like Ubisoft, Quantic Dream, Tactical Adventures, and Mocap Lab and Animation School. So it was not my first time, but I'm not a gamer. I played a cooperation game like Overcooked, It Takes Two, and Rebel 2. But I'm not really a gamer. I really like to watch my friends play. I was just an actress on another project of video game.
With Clair Obscur, obviously you have done so many roles. Was that a role specific audition, or were you brought in just to do a part of the game?
No, I did the audition for Lune Sciel, so I knew from the beginning I had two characters to perform. But sometimes I received a message from Guillame, who asked me if I could play Aline, or if I could play Alicia, if I could play Emma and Sophie, and finally it became a joke because I did 19% of female characters in this game. So no, first of all, it was just for Lune and Sciel.
Now that you've worked on this game, you've done a number of scenes, number of these characters. How has it been like for you to experience and work with Guillame as a director and just working on this game in general?
It was easy. It was a real collaboration. We built the relationship together step by step because I didn't meet him during the audition. So I really met him for the really first day of shooting, when I asked some questions about characters and story, and he knew everything. It's really important. And before to play some scenes, he showed us the artwork of Nicolas or the character design designed by Alan. So they give us a lot of information to nourish our brain, our mind, our head, because everything is imagination. It was really easy, and we spoke the same artistic language. And with Maxence is my friend for a long time now, so we were really, really happy and really excited to perform together because it was the first time. And when Guillame chose us, he didn't know that we were friends because we passed the audition separately. And Charlotte, she's just an amazing actress, really, and she's like my little sisters now. So yeah, it was a friendly zone, a safe place, and it's just perfect for actors.
That's so cool that you guys have like now this bond together, and it's amazing to see. And you see it like in the photos and all the videos. It's amazing with the behind the scenes stuff. Wonderful. Did your experience as a stunt performer, did that help you bring something unique to your role in general?
Yeah, of course. Motion capture is the art of the movement. So the more you're comfortable with your body, the better is for your character, for the character. So all stunts, all activities I did before, it's really important for me. And as actress in motion capture, I'm dancer, I'm ice skater, I'm fencer. It's really important,
Yeah.
and it helped me a lot.
You mentioned like Lune and Sciel, and you got Sophie at some point in time. At what point of time during the shooting or recording did you get to know, like, okay, now I'm gonna go and play Sophie, a completely different character?
I think it was at the end, because we shot it in chronological order, but we start from the act 1 to 3, and after we did the prologue. I knew that really later, and I think it was just a message from Guillame that, do you want to play Sophie? And I was really excited because I love this relationship between Gustave and Sophie. It's beautiful and painful at the same time, so
Right.
I couldn't wait to perform that. So we did all the scenes with Sophie and Gustave the whole day, one day. So, and chronological order. So it was easy for us to understand, and for me to find Sophie, and to feel what's happened between them.
And I think everybody has seen that behind the scenes video, and everybody is so blown away by the fact that you had all these tears in your eyes and you were giving it all for that scene. And everybody is like blown away by just the fact that you had so much going through. How do you bring all of that emotion to a scene that you cannot really see? It's purely imagination.
Man, this scene, it just incredible, because it was the mess in my head at this moment, because I knew that Sophie was so brave, so gracious, and she accepts her life. And me, I was completely frightened, because I was like, and if I don't manage to find the good emotion, and if I don't to find the good, if I don't want to cry, if I don't want to, because there's nothing. So I was completely anxious, and I finally managed to switch off my brain. And because Maxence was there, so Guillaume played the music, and I knew that it was out of my control. We just need to let it go and let the emotion take over. So yeah, it was
Wow.
just imagination and feelings with Maxence, and trust with Guillaume. And
How many takes did he had to go through to make sure that the scene was done? Like, how did that go?
I don't remember. In my mind, it's just 2 takes, but Maxence told me it was 6 or 7. So
Wow.
I have no idea, and sometimes it's like blackout, you know.
Okay.
So I know that the first one, and I think it's the first one they used, because I did the second I know.
And that's one of the things that a lot of people, because now they know that you said the I know extra as like an extra line. I'm curious, like, why at that point you thought that it's better to have this? Like do you prepare this? Do you even think about this
No,
beforehand?
no, no, I didn't prepare something. I don't know. Just I had a lot of emotion, and when I looked Maxence in his eyes, and he told me, "I'm here," it was like he surrounded my body of something, and I was, for me, I needed to tell him again. I know. I needed to tell him. It was like, even if you can't hug me, even if you can kiss me, even if you can save me, I know that you are here for the rest of my life. So it's okay. And yes, I add the second one because I felt in my body, in my entire body, in my that Sophie needs to do that. So
That
yeah,
is
like
so
impulsion, you know.
That's amazing. There's so much there, and I feel like a lot of people when they listen to this part, I feel like some people might get emotional with that. Just the fact that you mentioned how she is saying this and making sure that she knows that he's there because he's
Yeah.
going to be there all the time. So that's I think this here
And
is going to Yeah.
And I'm really happy because the voice of Billy,
Yeah.
she's just incredible. Really, the work she did is just amazing. So I'm really happy to do this collaboration with her because this scene is it's perfect.
And one of the other scenes that people always talk about is Gustave and Lune's conversations and how they're talking over each other and has a real conversation. How much of that was written in script and how much of that did you decided to go improv?
I always kept the lines because I can't really improve with my English and do a big sentence. So I always kept the line, but we were totally free to change, to add, to interrupt each other. And I remember that the first time I interrupt Maxence, it was for the cut scene with the message on the indigo tree, and it was the first day of shooting. And I don't know why, but it was a little bit complicated for me to do this scene, and I had a lot of frustration. And there's a part when Lune say, "There's a there's a reason," and I knew that it was the wrong moment to speak, and this thing creates a lot of frustration, and I use this frustration for Lune. And Guillame was really, really happy because this kind of interruption creates something really natural. So at this moment, we decided that we needed to interrupt. We can use this kind of interruption. So it's a mix of script and improv. I know that I did some yes, I know, thank you, just a little word sometimes, but not a big improvisation.
Did you have any inspirations from any other character that you brought into Lune?
No, I often perform this kind of character, so I think I'm like her. I mean, like bossy, and she's really dedicated and focused on her work. So no inspiration, and I never talked about that with Guillame if he had some references. So no, just personal life, personal life. Yeah.
So you are much more closer to Lune, it seems.
Yeah, but there's a share of mindset of Sciel as well. So and I have the conviction of Sophie. So
Beautiful. So,
yeah, all the girls.
like, do you guys spend time on doing all these action moves that as players we get to see, or was that not done exactly?
No. The gameplay was created in Korea. We just did the cutscene, and this is the best moment to speak about something that I don't fly. I don't fly, and I wasn't barefoot during the session. So if you have a special request or questions, please write send for interactive or Alan Reno, the lead character artist, because I just did the cutscenes and I had my shoes. So thank you.
Yeah, I've seen so many people tell me like, hey, ask her about if she is floating, ask if she was barefoot, how did she do her movement, and I'm like, that's not what she really did. So
No, I just did the cutscenes. So
yeah. It's probably going to be hard to pick one, but do you have a favorite among the scenes?
no, it's so hard to choose, but I love the cutscene with Sciel. It's a camp scene when she tells everyone that she had a little chat with someone, and that someone hides a terrible secret, and Verso is so uncomfortable, but she speaks about Esquie and the wine inside him.
Right.
So this cutscene was really, really funny to do. Or maybe the cutscene when Sciel say, "When I go for a ride," and Gustave is so focused on his work.
Just had to ask that because everybody wants to know. So I was like,
It's really hard to choose, and I love all the characters, but Yeah, I remember that, when Verso plays piano with a male and there's
Yeah.
Esquie behind them, I was Esquie, so I danced
Wow.
Esquie just behind them. And it was, I don't know if they use my motion capture, but it was so funny because I was like that, and yeah, it was a beautiful moment.
Yeah, that's amazing. At the back of my head, I was like somebody must have done some motion capture for Esquie at that particular point. Good to know that's
Yeah.
you. That's amazing. So many behind the scenes scenes that Max Sans is also sharing. And one scene that he recently shared was the scene with Francois and how you're reacting to a bottle, which is
Yeah.
amazing. Do you like, are there any other moments which you find funny that you're doing the scene and it's just ridiculous?
It was so ridiculous, but it's really interesting because we had nothing, and when we have nothing, we create with
Right.
everything. And yes, we used a banana for a gun, a bottle for Francois, paper for rocks, and yeah, I really like this kind of acting because everything is with your imagination. And so yeah, it was so ridiculous, and I wanted to laugh all the time, but no, Lune has a mission, so we stay focused.
Wow. I cannot imagine like how many times guys must have like broken down, like laughing on the scenes and finally focusing on making. Is there a scene that you remember that took a long time to shoot or be done with?
I think it's a scene between Gustave and Maël when they throw some walks. But I wasn't there, but I was just in the audience. And it was really, really, really funny because Charlotte threw the paper on Guillaume, but not just one time, twice. So yeah, it was a lot of funny moments, and yeah, sometimes we were really ridiculous, but this is a part of this kind of adventure. So
Lune in general is so like excited to see gestuals in the game. Like she's super excited and she wants to know about them. She gets giddy. Is there something that you, Estelle, like feel excited and happy about when you? Is there a topic that you are like, oh, this is my favorite, and we love to
yeah,
talk about?
oh yeah, there's a lot of things. I really try to not lose my wonder. I will be really excited if I have one day a character, and if I could play the characters and do my own stunts. I think
Right.
I will be really excited and for that, because as actress I really want to do everything.
Right.
Or maybe in video game, if I can play and do the stunts, so the cutscenes and the gameplay and the
Right.
voice and with my face. So it will be so so amazing. But in reality, I love to paint. I love
Oh,
read. I love the art. So I go to the museum, and I love to travel. So
wow.
I'm really amazed by a lot of things.
One of the things in the story, obviously, people when they are very surprised by and shocked with the idea that Gustav died. And what was your reaction knowing that that character is going away?
I was really sad for my friend from Maxence because I saw how his character affected him, and I was really worried for Ciel because even if she grieved for many, she can break, and when she breaks a lot.
Right.
So I was a little bit worried for her. And for Lune, when one falls, we continue. So she continues, but yeah, I was really surprised for sure. Estelle was really surprised for yeah when I saw this in this script. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's part of the story.
Yeah, it is part of the story. Yeah, Maxence had that reaction as well, where he's like, I guess this is over, and he was like completely broken. But the fact
Yeah,
that he was able to also come back again, but also playing a character that technically was the reason that Gustav died. So I totally understand like how he was struggling to beat Verso. Well, Gustav
yeah,
could have been saved. Yeah.
yeah, completely. And for me, it was hard to play with Verso. I was really, really, really angry, and sometimes it was it was it was complicated to do the difference. But yeah, I was really sad for him, and but yeah, this is the part of this kind of project, you know, the story
Yeah.
and characters.
Like, I'm assuming you brought more of your anger to the fact that Verso could have been there and now you're talking to Verso. So like, I believe all of that maybe realistic anger was also gone through the shooting and the recordings of the scenes.
Yeah, and I think I'm still angry. I'm still angry, really. You know, when I see the end and the gaze, when Lune look at Verso and sit down, Guillaume just asked me to look at him, so look at Verso and sit down, and that's it. But I was so in. It was so hard for me because it was like he betrayed. He betrayed Lune, and she said, as long as even one of us stands, the fight is not over. And she sat down. So for me, it was like, no, she can't give up. She can't give up. She can't give up. So yeah, it's a horrible moment for me.
When I saw that scene, when I saw that Lune sat down, I was like, oh my God, she was giving up. Like, it's done. And that's the one person I thought will never do that. And the fact that she did that, I was like, oh gosh, this is
Yeah,
over.
but I hope that in her head it was like, when one falls we continue. So maybe she thinks that someone else continue without her. So really, I hope that.
You mentioned that you also had this idea of like playing Sciel as well. Like, how many times you had to perform Sciel? Because I know Joanna is also the
Yeah.
actress for Sciel as well. So at what point or on how many scenes you had to be Sciel? Was that only scenes where it was just Sciel and someone else, or were there other scenes where you would have also come in?
Joanna came 1 or 2 days to do some cutscenes, some emotional cutscene, because I couldn't respond to myself. So she did when they lie down and watch
Right.
the stars. She did the magic Verso, when Verso is cut in 2 parts. And she did another one when Lune asked if we needed to trust Verso or something like that. But otherwise, I did everything. I did Sciel from the beginning at the end, and just big emotional scenes. It was Joanna when it was Lune and Sciel. It was really good to perform with her because I could see Sciel for the first time. I could play with her for the first time. So yeah, it was amazing to see Joanna with us.
According to you, like, because you played both these characters, like, what do you find the differences between them? Like, at the same time, like, how do you even change from one person to the other?
When we shooting a scene, I start by Lune, and for me, she was easier to do because, I mean, in body language, in my mind, she was a stick. So I was like really straight and really, really focused and like a stick. And so I did the performance, and when Guillaume was agree, I was Sciel after that. I did Sciel. So we did the scenes many time. And for Sciel, for me, her body was, you know, in water on in hair. So the body was really smooth and like in slow motion. So I tried to work on Lune really straight, and Sciel like the body on the water. And
We also did some scenes as Aline.
Yeah.
And so, like, what were those kind of like scenes like, where like, or what kind of scenes did you have to perform as Aline?
As Aline, I did the very last cut scene, you know,
Okay,
the scene with Renoir, Cléa, and Maël.
right.
And I think that Maxence spoke about that in his podcast. Don't know if I did something else, but I did the Paintress as well. The Paintress is the cut scene with just before, just after the fight, and when she speak about the fire, and she see Maël and call her Alicia, and it was
Right.
it was a really a beautiful thing to perform, because I had the Lorient music at this moment, so it was like a dance, because in my head the Paintress has a big hair. It was really beautiful and really deep to do this cat scene. But yes, as Aline, it was just the burial.
Did you get to see like all the cutscenes at this point from the game, or is there, or have you seen like the full game? Like, how far have you seen the game?
So I didn't see all the game. I just start to play the prologue, and I just find Mael. But I'm really excited. I really want to keep going to play. And I saw all the cutscenes
Okay.
in French and in English. And yeah, and I have a lot of video on my social my social media. So sorry. So
I'm so happy that you're playing it as well. So that's pretty cool. That would be cool to know like what kind of your reactions or your feel is like when you're playing the game, and as you go ahead.
I'm really excited, but I'm sad because I can't discover the game as you, or as players,
course,
because
yeah.
I know everything, and I'm really very frustrated, because I really wanted to live this story, and I can't.
Yeah, it's the curse that you guys live with, which is like you know all the story, everything,
Yeah,
and so
and
it's not gonna be authentic.
and I thought I was a person really patient. I thought, but now I discover that I'm not really patient, and I'm really for the fights, and yeah, the fuck, I can manage to parry, and yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard for me. I need to work on my inner peace, you know.
I asked this before about the fact that is there any scene that you kind of remember, but do you have any of the scenes that you recorded, any moment that happened behind the scenes that you remember the most?
I think it's all the journey, you know. But it's because if I had a time machine, I would like to do it again. For sure, all the cutscenes with Sophie and Gustave, and Fight the Mission, and Indigo Tree. And I remember one scene with Charlotte. It's the first meeting between Alicia and Maël, and
Nice.
it just they, you know, the first black and white cutscenes. When we did it, it was really deep, and I look at her, I looked at Maël Charlotte, and I wanted to cry. It was, yeah, it was so deep. And I remember that at the end of the action, Guillame told me, you know, you have a mask, so if you cry, I don't see. And I was like, but I can resist. It was too, yeah, it was too deep. And Charlotte is a great actress and so generous. So yeah, I think it's one of my favorite moments.
Wow.
With the gommage. And yes, Ciel, she's so interesting, because I understood her darkness, and I really want to play her like a light,
So there are a few fan questions that people wanted to ask as well. First comes from Rax Walker. They ask, do you think Lune's feet are the most powerful weapon in the game?
I don't know. Ask to Alan Renault.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, the next come from Stefania. They ask, with mocap of all those characters, did you find one in particular aligned with yourself?
I think it's Lune. But I totally understood Ciel, and I love his. She's really sensitive, so I'm like that as well. And Sophie, I love her conviction about the world, about children's, about she's so brave. So yeah, Lune, but really all of them,
Everyone, yeah. That's the
everyone,
answer.
everyone.
Zarina Romanets asks, what were your favorite parts of each character to portray?
Maybe the funny parts of Ciel, or maybe because yeah, she's fun.
Yeah.
She has a sense of humor. Maybe Ciel.
Maggie Dolon, I think it is the name. They ask, do you think Aline learned to love Alicia once again at the end of the game?
I hope really, I hope that this family will find the peace and the love. So yeah, I hope that Alicia, I don't know. I can't speak for her.
Next comes from Kevin Train. They ask, were there any motions or movement that you wanted to perform but were prohibited by the technology or were cut from the game?
Yeah, we couldn't do some jump. We needed to keep the feet on the ground. We couldn't kiss each other, but we didn't need to kiss each other. And it's really perfect that Sophie and Gustave never kiss each other. It was complicated to hug each other as well. Yeah, and we needed to stay in a small space. It was like 8 meters, so something like that. So we needed to stay in the small space and feet on the ground.
Brighton Swear asks, as someone who wants to break into motion capture with a background in dance, where are the best places to find gigs, either online or best cities to live in?
Oh, good questions. I think there's motion captures in London, New York City, Paris, but the better things to do is to write each video game studio by email or on the website, and just you need to tell them that you exist and that you're interesting to do motion capture. This is the only thing that if you want to work in this kind of industry, tell us.
Yeah.
Tell them.
Yeah, definitely. So is that, do you even would recommend people to take some kind of a course for motion capture? Is that something that you would say?
There's a course in Paris, but I'm not sure there's really a course. It's really a small industry and really close industry. So the better is to train, to practice your body, to practice every sport you can, and the acting, because motion capture is not just about the body. It's the body, right, for sure, but you really need to act. And sometimes I work in video game as a stunt woman, so I have no words, but my body needs to feel and needs to act. It's really important to know that. So yeah, practice and send an email with who you want to work. Yeah.
Last comes from MCS. They ask, what was the scene you had to repeat the most until completion?
We did fuck the mission many times because we recorded the very first day and the very last day, I think. Maybe Indigo Tree. Indigo Tree. I think because I did in Lune and after in Sciel, so for sure we did maybe 4 or 5 takes, but yeah, not a lot finally.
One last question from me is that you have done you've done Lune, you have done Sciel, and you have all these characters that you've done. What have you learned like from all of these characters? Because you're giving so much to them, they're learning from you. What have you learned from them?
From them, to let it go. Now, from Lune, I learned that you can find a lot of fun in your life. So the work is not the only things to do. Just live. And Sciel, I really want to have her kindness, her generosity, and I was really touched by her. She's really resilient, and Sophie, she's so brave. She's so brave, and she's so gracious. I learned a lot of things.
Well, Estelle, I really want to thank you for giving me the time today to talk about all of this. It's so good to know about like motion capture and everything. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm sorry if my English was so bad, but thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.